Hey there. Our digital lives are, well, they're complicated, right? It's this nonstop flood of information, tools, connections. It can honestly feel like you're lost in a massive, sprawling city with no guide at all. But here's a thought. What if you actually had a map? So, I want to kick things off with a question, directly for you. In this world of just constant digital change, what skills do you think you actually need to, not just get by, but to really thrive? All right, first section, our Digital Worlds Challenge. Okay, so let's really get into this. A huge part of the problem, and you've probably felt this, is that we often don't even have a shared language to talk about this stuff. Think about it. If a university or a company, or even just you, can't clearly define what digital capability means, well, how can you effectively develop it? We all just end up talking past each other.
So that brings us to our next section, a map for capability. And this, right here, is where the Jisc framework comes into play.
And here it is. This is the framework at a glance. Now, I want you to think of this as your guide. It's not some boring checklist of tasks you have to tick off. No, it's a holistic view of all the different areas of practice and identity that make up a truly capable digital person.
Okay, so why should you care? Why does this framework actually matter? Well, for starters, it gives everyone, universities, employers, you, me, that shared language we were talking about. It's grounded in the real world too, built with input from people all across education and industry. So think of it as both a goal to aim for and a toolkit to help us get there.
All right, now let's get into the details. To really get this, we're going to explore the framework's layers. The best way to do it is to kind of peel it back like an onion, starting right from the core and working our way out.
So take a look at this. This more detailed view shows us the 6 core elements. You've got the foundational skill right there in the middle, then 4 key practices circling it, and finally, this one big element that wraps around the whole thing. Let's break them down one by one.
At the very heart of this whole thing is ICT proficiency. This is the bedrock, the foundation. We're talking about the functional, technical skills. Can you actually use your devices? Can you work with common software and stay productive? Honestly, without this, nothing else works. It's the engine that powers everything else. All right, let's move out to that first layer of practice. This one's all about information, data, and media literacies. And wow, is this important today? It's about how we find, interpret, and manage information. I mean, in an age of constant misinformation, can you critically evaluate a source? Do you know how to handle data responsibly? This is all about being a smart, discerning consumer and creator of information. Next up, we've got digital creation, problem solving, and innovation. This is where things get really active. It's not just about consuming content, it's about using digital tools to build, to design, to create new things. It's about looking at a problem and thinking, okay, how can I use technology to solve this in a new, innovative way?
And then there's the part that's all about people. Digital communication, collaboration, and participation. How effectively do you work with others in a shared document? How do you participate constructively in online communities? This skill is, and I'm not exaggerating, absolutely crucial for modern teamwork and just being part of society today.
And the last of these 4 practices is digital learning and development. This is so important because it recognizes that learning never, ever stops. How do you use digital tools to pursue your own professional development, to learn new skills, and to reflect on your progress? It's really all about being a lifelong learner in a digital age.
Okay, now for the outer ring. And this is maybe the most important part because it wraps around everything else, digital identity and well-being. This provides the crucial context for all the other skills. It asks, how do you manage your reputation and privacy online? And just as importantly, how do you manage the impact of digital life on your own mental and physical health?
So, we've seen the what, the different elements of capability. But that leaves a big question. What about the how? How do we actually build these skills? Well, the framework is supported by a really powerful developmental model.
It's built on this right here, the Digital Literacy Development Pyramid. If you're familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, this is kind of inspired by that. It shows that developing digital literacy isn't random. It happens in stages, building from a solid foundation upwards.
And I love this because it illustrates the journey so clearly. It starts with access. I have the basic technology I need. Then you climb to functional skills. I can use those tools effectively. From there, you move to situated practices. I do apply these skills in my specific context, my job, my studies. And the ultimate goal is identity, where you can finally say, I am a confident, creative, and critical user of digital technologies.
And finally, let's put it all together. So when we look at the full map again, you can really see how it all clicks into place. You've got that foundational ICT proficiency in the middle, enabling the 4 key practices of literacy, creation, communication, and learning. And it's all held within the context of a healthy digital identity and well-being. See? It's a complete picture.
And please, don't just think this is some abstract theory for a textbook. This framework is a practical tool. You can use it right now, today, to assess your own strengths and identify the areas where you want to grow. It provides a clear, actionable path for your own development. So there you have it. We've walked you through the guide. You now have the map to navigate your digital world. And really, the only question left to ask yourself is, where are you going to explore first?